how to use it. So to use Google Collaboratory, right? So I'm going to be typing it here, collab.google.com. Right, so collab.google.com. So this is the link. So collab.google.com. So you can click on that link. I'm going to send it to the chat soon. So when you click on the Google Colab, it's going to open up a page. So I'm sharing the link in case you didn't see what I typed. Okay, so I just sent the link to the chat. So once I click on that collab.research.google.com, this is where it pops up. First of all, this is where it pops up. First of all, right. So if you're doing it as I'm doing right now, would have similar things. Yes, it can be used on phone. That's another advantage. So Google Colab can be used on phone, preferably on tab. Yeah, so because it's not really easy on phone, but on tab easier. But you can't have VS Code on your phone. You can't have Jupyter Notebook on your phone. So we should have the same interface right now. Just that when you come to this, I'm zooming in here. When you come to this place, you won't see all of this. Probably you'll see only the welcome to Colab. I think that's the only thing you should be saying. Welcome to Colab. So all of these other ones that you can see down my screen, they are files that I've worked with. You understand? So there's so many. So you should just be saying the first one. Welcome to Colab. So let me know if you can see this particular screen on your own, is it laptop or your phone? So let me know if you can. That's like the first thing to do. So did you click on the link and did it take you here? So let me get from 1 to 2 people so you can know that it's working for on your end here. Okay, it's working on your end. Okay, so once you have this, right, like I said, all of these things here, yeah, you won't have them. They're just previous things I've worked on. So once you have all of these things, you just come to new notebook here. New notebook. So you just click on new notebook. So once you click on new notebook,
please put the link in the chat.
It's going to create a new blank sheet like this. That's Samuel. So you want to say something, please. So maybe just type it. Just type it. So the reason why I want to, okay, I'll put the link in the chat. It's in the chat. So the reason why I don't want to unmute and let everyone speak when we're having the classes, because right, it's the class is being recorded. So when other people are listening to it, they might not like to. So well, occasionally I'll do that. I'll let people speak. So just for little interference. Okay, so I think everybody should have this, right? So I think everybody should have this already. Eugene, yes, I can see it. I see the product of Jupyter. Okay, I think you're saying Mr. Eugene. So I think you're saying it's like Jupyter. Yes, it's like Jupyter. So that's what you meant. It's like Jupyter. Like I said, all of them are just they're just the same thing. So it's just which one you want to use. You don't have to use all of them. I don't use all of them. So it just makes the work so divided. So does anybody have this screen on you have this like empty page like this? Is that what you're saying? No. Not yet. Okay, so that's most likely because when you so I'm going to take it back. Yeah, so I'll take it back to the welcome page. So I'll just reload this. So yes, everybody's seen this welcome page, right? I've seen this welcome page. So I've seen this welcome page. So I was trying to say that you only need to click on this new notebook plus this thing down here. That's what you click on. I'll take you to a fresh page. So if you have clicked on it before, you don't need to click on it again. So you just click on it. So once you click on the new notebook, it's going to open up a fresh page, a fresh notebook. So we call it Google Collaboratory notebook. Right? It's more like a notebook. I'll explain that part very soon. So it's more like a notebook where you can write notes and write notes. Okay, so is everybody on this page? Is everybody on the same page? So this thing I'm doing right now, it's not like good. We have to like take it through the process next time again. So you have to like get the hang of it so that you're able to do it yourself. It's just so everybody has this. I want to assume so let me get from one more person that on this page. Just one more person. So okay. Okay, so if you're on this page already, fantastic. So there are a number of things to look out for when you're on this page. A number of things to look out for. I won't like give you a total explanation of all the tools, right? That's because if you know some of them today, you might not need them for a very long time. You might not even need them because you understand. So it's just going to be unimportant information. Information I don't get to importance. So I'm not using my laptop right now. I'm sorry about that. It's better on laptop. On phone, it's a bit not so distinct on phone. Since we are using a tab, right? It's right. It's a bit better. Okay, so So we have, okay, I'm not still seeing the page. You should take it here automatically. So, so you must have clicked on tab. Okay, you must have, is it the same link you clicked on? Because if you clicked on the same link, you should see, Mr. Olabode, did you see when you clicked on the link, did it open up the Google Colab page? Did it open that up first of all? Okay, so if you're still on the welcome page, just reload the screen, reload the page. Just click on the reload button, refresh button, anyone. Okay, so it seems people have not really understood from there. So let me just take it back again. So, so when you're on the welcome page, right, you should be seeing all of this. You should be seeing all this like this. Like my screen is a bit tiny, so just trying to you can see it.
Yeah, like wait, we're gonna do the first one. Like, was it showing? It just in the front one. Oh shit! Yeah.
Okay, so on the welcome page, this is what you should have. So this is what you should have. If you don't have this, that's the issue. If you don't have this, click on the refresh button of the page or reload button. Control R. It's just refresh the page for you. It's just refresh the page for you. So so once you refresh the page for you, right, you should be able to see this again. So once you have this, just click on new notebook. This new notebook down here. This thing down here. New notebook. This is what you click on. New notebook. So once you click on that, automatically it should take you to a new page. Right. It should take you to a new page directly. It's not even going to stay on that. Do you understand? Except if so for people that have seen it, right? Which browser are you using? Are you using Microsoft Edge? Are you using
okay. Thank you.
But yeah, so okay, I'm using Chrome. Okay, so you're using Chrome, then it should work then. It should work then because I'm using Edge and it's working directly. I don't have any issue using Edge. So it's taking me to another page directly. So for people that are using Chrome, I believe it's taking you to the next page directly. So instead of staying on that same page. So I feel like it should be working for everybody right now. So let me know if it's working now. Let me know if it's working now. That was Mr. Olabode. Chrome is not working. Okay, Chrome is working, sorry. Mr. Olabode, have you gotten it down? So I think it's Mr. Olabode and so I know Priscilla Adamu. So that's working, okay. Working on my tab now. Okay. So you might want to try that out on the laptop later. So I think probably it's the laptop not taking it to the browser, not taking it to me. So since it's working on tab. Okay, so everybody should have this on the page right now. So my page is a bit, I'll just have to, I think it's my laptop font size and all of this is a bit tiny. I have to be zooming and zooming. So when you have when it opens this up, you see something like this, right? So you see these things here: file, edit, view, insert, runtime, tools, help. So those are things that we kind of so many things I'll be doing around that place, and including this last one here, files. So when we get to the files, a day will come when we'll talk about things on this side. Let me get there, not talk about them. So I think the important things are this code, this text, and some things in the file. So let's start with the file. So the file is one of those important things that's obviously it's whatever interface you have ever used, you must have always had the file, edit, whatever software you've used, right? So file should not be anything strange again. So but the important things that we need to know in the file are things like save, down here, but let's start with the beginning part there. So the beginning. So we have locate in Drive. That's one thing that I think you should note. That's one thing you should note. So the locate in Drive, right? It's, I said this Google Colab, you just open it now. Just open it now and it's online. So where is it online? It's stored at Google Drive. Yes, and so this locate in Drive, when you click on it, so when you click on it, let me click on it. So it's going to take me to my Google Drive. Right, it's going to take me to my Google Drive. Right. So that Google Drive is where the notebook is stored. So for example, I don't know what it is, but I think the one I just created is Untitled 35. So this is it. 1928. So that's 7:28 p.m. Right. So that's what I just created. So the point I'm trying to make here is the notebook are not running the way they are with you. So they are on your Google Drive. That's the point I'm trying to make. So that Google Drive. So that's the file. That's the locate in Drive in the file section here. So once you click on locate in Drive to take it to where you saved that notebook in your Drive, right? Let's take it to your Drive. I'll also say something. Should I say it now? Okay. So let's say that part on Drive. So for the Drive, when you go to your Drive when you open your Google Drive, I believe for everybody using the Google Colab, you have a Google Drive, you have a Google account, so everybody has that. So you should be able to see collaboratory notebooks when you open your Google Drive. So you see collaboratory notebooks. my collaborative notebooks. So these collaborative notebooks is where you see all the Google Colab notebooks that's trying to click well. Okay, all the Google Colab notebooks that are in your Google Drive. So you find them there. So that's like just a where you locate the drive. So you so basically that's drive.google.com. No, there's no Google Colab app. We don't have an app. We don't have an app. So it's going to make it more difficult if there's an app. It's going to make it more difficult because you have to like it's going to be quite easy. So having it online is kind of better. So okay, so let's come back to this place. So if you want to check it on your drive, you can always you can check the drive on your phone on the laptop. So there's always if you have there's an Android, it's a Google Drive. One can't work offline. Yes, you can work offline. Yes, you can work offline. You can work offline. You have to work online. So for VS Code, Jupyter Notebook, you can work offline. So, but of course, since you're in this class, I mean, we're all using internet, so I think that shouldn't be an issue. And it really doesn't even take any much data. So it doesn't take much. It's just like just clicking and clicking. There's really nothing it's taking. So the next thing that we need to know again is this new notebook in Drive. So you see, I'm going to pick in a few things. I can't like explain all of them because it's not going to be that important. Not all of them are important right now, because you won't use them. So it's better I explain them when you need them. So new notebook in Drive, what that means is you're trying to create a new notebook. You know, when I showed you the welcome page, you saw new notebook. So I can click on this new notebook. I'm not going to click on it. So but I can click on it. It will open another fresh notebook, a fresh one. So just like you have a fresh one here, it can also create another fresh one, but I'm not doing that. So but we also have the open notebook. We have the open notebook. So I think that one, let's do that one. So for the open notebook, when you click on open notebook from the file section of the Google Colab, right, you should see some of these things. You should see this. So you won't see many of these files. I mean, that's because these files are mine, so they're not yours. So you should only see I think you should be seeing just one of them, which is the one you just created now. Right, in the recent. So basically we have about 4 sections here. We have examples, right? So we have examples. So you see these examples there, right? They're like notebooks that Google Colab has put there to show you how to write some codes in Google Colab. Right, so these are just things like getting started on Google Colab. So it's not really that you can check them out later, but I'm not worried about that. I'll do that. So you have recent. So recent helps you to like check on the notebooks that you have worked with previously, and we have Google Drive. So it opens up your Google Drive and shows you all the notebooks on your Google Drive, right? And we have GitHub. So I didn't connect it here. So it should have showed me all the things on my GitHub. So I also have the upload. So I could have a notebook and upload it. So sometimes you might work with VS Code at some point, right? So you can have it, then you might want to upload it. So this is just where you upload it. So just click on browse and open up the file, the dialog box of the laptop windows, and you'll be able to click on the file you want to upload. So let's not to bug you with unnecessary information. That's why I'm trying to pick the important ones here. So let's see. I think another important thing here is the save. I think just for now is the save. So let's not yes, I don't take it too deep there. So it's the save. So Ctrl-S. So I feel like that's not even a big deal. So Ctrl-S just to save. So Ctrl-S here to save it. And you don't even need to bother yourself about the Ctrl-S thing again too, because Google Colab is online. So it's more like it's saving your codes. I think it's every 5 seconds or every 10 seconds. I can't remember. So but it's saving your codes. You understand? So you don't need to even do Ctrl-S. So I think the important things in the file section are just the locating drive, open save and rename. So I don't want to talk about the rename here. Instead, I want to talk about the rename in another way. Okay, so for the rename, it's important. So I have a notebook I'll be using for the class anyways, so but I'll show you very soon. So I must have noticed that I've been saying so I'm just used to so all right, so that's very funny. So on title 35.ipynd, so the extension in which we save our notebooks is ipynd. So what does ipynd mean? So this is what I'm trying to say. It's up here. So you must have in your own notebook, you should be seeing untitled 1, either untitled 1 or untitled 0. So it's one of the two. This thing I like it. Okay, it's either yours is untitled 1 or untitled 0.ipynd. So ipynd is the file extension. It's how we save Colab notebooks. So it's just IPython notebook. That's the meaning of ipynd, IPython notebook. So it's just an extension. You can save Excel sheets, .xl, SX. You can save Word document, .doc, .pdf, all of this. So it's just a saving extension. So the other part I'll talk about is renaming. So instead of having untitled 0, I might not just want to leave it as untitled 0. So I could use my own name. So I could use my own preferred name for the notebook. So I could use something like notebook first. Let's say I want to use underscore. I hope you can see my first. So maybe underscore might not be a good distance right now, since it's our first It's our first student book, not to confuse you. So let us save it as first class. First class. That's IPYNB. So it means the notebook is now stored as, it's now saved as first class. It's no longer untitled. So let me know if you're able to rename it from untitled 0 or untitled 1, I'm not sure, to first class. So you can rename it to any other name that you want. Just let me know that. Let's just know that you're able to rename it. So the reason for knowing how to rename is that you can see untitled 0, untitled 1, untitled, I think you saw untitled 30 something in my own. It really doesn't make any meaning or any sense, right? Just like when you create a document, like what documents, it just give you a name, but it won't give you the name of the preferred name that you have in mind, right? So you just need to write something that you prefer. Okay, so that's it for the renaming. So you can just go there and rename the notebook. Okay, thank you. So we have another thing in the edits, right? I won't be going over them one by one. So I'll just briefly explain them. Some of them, not again, some of those things are not so this thing right now. So we have undo, redo. Like, you might want to, when you're using a code, I want to undo it or redo it. So these are shortcuts. Or you can come here to click on undo. Right now, there's no code. That's why it's not enabled, the undo and redo. So we have select all cells. So we'll talk about cells very soon. We have copy, paste, find and replace. Most documents, most software like Word document or things like that, they usually will have the control. We find and replace, Control F, but this one is Control H, Control G. So I don't want to stress you about the what do you call it, shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts right now. So again, it's important things I want to talk about, right? So for the view, nothing is important right now there. I mean, SAT. Okay, so let's talk about, I'll come back to the SAT. In SAT, we have some important, two things that are important today. So for the runtime, we also have just one thing I feel like I should talk about, which is run selection. Let's just talk about the run selection right now. So the run selection just helps you to run a cell, a code cell. So I'll show you what the code cell is. So we are on the same page. So I'm just able to log on Colab. Okay. Would you please share the link that I've switched on my laptop? So Mr. Peter, so what stage are you? Have you been able to log in? So I don't understand where you are currently. So I don't lose you. So you said you are lost. How can we find you? So where's your location? So at what point are you like right now? I also know, I've been able to. So this link that I sent now, can you click on it, Mr. Peter? So if you are able to click on it, let me know you can click on it. You don't understand perfectly. I watch the recording. Yes. But instead of waiting till then, I prefer you take it now. So we've not really gone fast. So as I'm saying, this notebook, have you clicked this link I just sent? Have you clicked on it? Have you clicked on it? So if you have clicked on it, which I believe you just did. So if you have clicked on it, you see new notebook in blue. It's in a blue box like this down at the top, at the left, bottom left corner. So you should see a new notebook down there. So you just click on new notebook. You should create something like this for you, a fresh page like this. You're not even start writing any code to write. So that's where we are. I hope you are there too. Or you are getting there. Okay, so that's it for that end there. So I'll come back to the insert when I talk about this other things I'll talk about here. Okay, so I'm at the top right corner now. Top right corner. So on the top right corner, we have some important things. Like some of them are important. Like most of them are important actually. So we have the settings. That's the first one. Now for the settings, it's just an editor thing here. So I think because of everyone likes the yes. So the settings just helps you to change the settings of the environment. Hope I can still do it later when I get home. I don't know. Yes, you can. Just listen to the recording. Yes, you can. If you're following what we are doing right now, I feel like it's something that you can go back home, open your laptop, and start doing it without even listening to the recording. Yeah. So that's why I always feel like just come to the class and pay attention. If there are some tiny details that you missed out, you can now listen to the recording and go back to it. Because I know when people listen to the recording, go back to the recording, they get listen. Where is the time to listen to the recording and things like that? So it's better you just try to take the class so that you don't miss out. Okay, so for the settings, right, it just helps you it just shows you the settings of the Google Colab page. So we have things like if I want it to be in dark mode. So it's just going to make it dark like this. I don't know if you can see, it's actually dark. So it's just preference. So I think most people usually complain that it's too dark or something like that on their own screen. So that's why I just decided to just be using the white. Maybe I'll change it very soon again. So but we have different settings that we can pick from here. We also have the editor settings here. The editor helps you to, you can change, we have different we have different editor this thing here. We also have different, so it's just about preference again. So there's really no it's about it. Just settings. Let's not really go too deep into those. I know like why we are here. So they're just settings, just to change the whole thing. I think I can explore later. It doesn't affect the code or whatever, right? And it's just design. So another thing that is important, which is the way I will stop on this side of things, is the share. That's like the important thing. Is the share. So when I click on share here, right? When I click on share, so the share is this button here. So when you click on share, right, it's going to so let me take that again. So okay, I'm more comfortable with that background. So I'm more comfortable with it. All of my this is because of the class, I just have to think. So click on share. So when you click on share, it's going to open up this. So I'm trying to like zoom in so that I can be able to show you. I don't know, I can't find it again. So okay, so this is what I'm trying to show you. I can't zoom. It's tiny. Okay. So it's my screen size is so tiny actually. So I'm going to do that very well because I need to show you. Okay, so let me try it this way. I'm trying to show you this screen that is popping up here, but it's not able to zoom. How do you do that now? So I'm not able to zoom at all. But that's a very important part I want to talk about. I can't zoom conveniently. I can explain it, but it's going to be tiny. It's going to be tiny. I don't think anybody can see the screen except if you zoom in. So when you zoom in, can you see it? Can you see what's written on the screen? Share first class .ipyb. Can you see it? Let me know if you can see it. When you like pinch your own screen, can you see it? Okay, one person can see it. Okay. So please if you can't see it, like just like it is right now, just like zoom in on your own screen. So I can't zoom in on my own end. It's like my own default. So I didn't know what to click on. So I can't see it actually though, but I know what to click on. I'm used to it already. Okay. Okay. So the point here is I'm trying to okay, thank you. So I'm trying to show you the share part of it. So it's just like if you're used to Google Docs, Google Slides, all of those things, this thing should not be strange to you anymore. That is the same interface there. So right now it's restricted. It's restricted. So what that means is I can't share the notebook with anybody. Nobody can see it. Right? Even if I copy the link, nobody can see it. It's just me that can get access to it. So even if I send it to you, it will be saying you need to request. You need an access, so I should grant you access from my email. So they'll send an email to me, then I'll give you access. So it's restricted. That's what I'm trying to say. So, but we don't want that. So we want something such that. And the reason why I'm doing this is because when I say you should share as notebook later, your assignment later, it's better you make it a habit, like a practice, not to leave it unrestricted. Because if you leave it unrestricted, I always need to send you an email like to request, and you have to like be granting my access almost every time. So the point is change it from restricted to anyone with the link. That's the first thing. So we should be on anyone with the link, not restricted. That's like the very first thing. Anyone with the link, so that anyone that has this link will be able to view it. So I'll share my own link with you now, and you'll be able to see my Google Colab notebook. So the next thing again is this side, the right-hand side. You see viewer, commenter, and editor. Viewer, commenter, and editor. Now, the viewer is just one that views, like I'm doing right now. You're just looking at the Google Colab. You can't edit it, right? I have not given you the link. You can't edit on my own screen, right? So we also have the commenter. So the commenter just is able to comment, but can't write the code. But the editor can edit what one has written. So for all of the codes that you'll be writing, for all the notebooks that you'll be creating as time goes on, I prefer you make me an editor. Why should you make me an editor? That's because when you send an assignment or something, right? Just for me to be able to correct your errors, if you make any error, right? Just make me an editor. So that when you make me an editor, if you send a DM or something, I can easily just check the link and edit what is wrong about the code. And that's the. But if you make me a viewer only, I can only look at the code. I can't alter it. You understand? And commenter is also not going to alter the code. It's just I can only put the comments that this is this. So make me an editor. So but right now I'm going to make an edit on your own codes, on your own Colab notebooks. You understand? And if you are sharing with other people, but you don't want them to edit your code, make them a viewer. Don't make them an editor. If you understand. So that's it. That's it. That's it. So I'm just going to make everybody an editor right now, and I'll copy the link and I'll paste the link on the chat. So I'm sending the link now. So when you open the notebook, what you'll be seeing is my own. It's my own notebook. So I click done. What you'll be seeing is my own notebook. So let me just quickly write a code here. So let me write something like welcome to data science class. So I can write this. So I've written this. So if you open that link I sent to you, you should be seeing this on the screen. You should be seeing this on your own screen. But it's my own notebook, but you can't edit it. So I need a viewer. Yes, but if you, on the other hand, make me an editor, right, I can edit what you wrote, your own codes, and change it. But that's where we are right now, right? So I think that's clear. That's clear, right? So it's just the share that I feel like it's a bit longer in terms of explanation here. So, but I hope you understood the share. So, but if you've been working with Google Docs and all before now, I feel like it should be an easy thing to come by. So I'll be on the same page. Should I continue? Is anybody stuck? Is anybody not stuck? If they're not stuck, let me know too. If you're stuck, let me know. So let's see. Let's get one or two people to talk on the chat. In the chat. Continue. Okay. So one more person, please. So we can move from there. Okay. Okay. They can see it now. So just click on the link. You're able to see it. So yeah. So next thing I'll talk about is the inserts. Inserts. So those are like important things here. Important things here. So there's the AI part of things, right? There's the AI part of things in our Google Colab. I think I just mentioned that too. So just mention it too. So let me give a disclaimer too, so that it helps everybody. So as we write codes, as we go into Python programming, as we write codes, as we do programming and everything, right? Yes, that's what you should be seeing on your own screen. So we're going to be writing codes. Programming can be a little bit like tricky and all of those things, right? But I would advise that you don't really. So in case you're using ChatGPT and all of those things right now, so I prefer that you don't be overly dependent on them, right? But you can use them. You understand? You can use them to even do assignments. You understand? But let me say something. I use it, you understand? But I know I don't know everything, but I feel like there are many things that so ChatGPT and all of this, they just make life easier. So of course you have an essay, for example, and I want to write it, and tell ChatGPT to write an essay for you. Simple. Right? But if you didn't know how to write an essay before, and ChatGPT wrote an essay for you, will you understand the essay? No. So it's the same thing with codes here. You have to like know how this thing works. Right. So that when at all you're even using GPT tools, right, it's able to when it gives you code the solution and all, you understand it. You understand. So I'm not saying you shouldn't use it at any point in time, but you can use it. I also use it to make my life to make work easier. So something I should have used like a day to write. I can basically do it in seconds. Well, I understand what I'm what the code is going to give me at the end of the day. So what exactly do we do? What exactly do we do with Colab? Is it to save and share documents? No. So I want to understand the question. So it's not to save documents, it's to documents. So it's to write our codes. That's what you're trying to say. So we're writing codes and saving them and sharing them. Yes, you understand. So what we are going to now is writing of codes. That's what we are going into now. So that's what's the point for the GPT tools. So you can actually use ChatGPT and all those things. So yes, it makes everyone smarter. You understand? And everyone wants to be smarter, right? So, but just know what the codes, just know what the results are. So that's just what I can say. Okay, so let's go into the writing of the codes and text cells and all there now. So Google Colab, again, I said is a collaboratory notebook. So the collaboratory part of things now, I've been able to show you that. In that, I've been able to show you the sharing part of the notebook. That's why it is a collaboratory notebook. It allows for collaboration. Do you understand? So you can share a notebook with me. I'll edit it. I'll correct your code. I'll access it and all of those things, right? And I can send my own to you so you can then learn from it and all of those things and many other things, right? You could also share your notebook with someone else in this class to like link together and see how you can put the resources together to solve a particular problem and all of those things, right? So that allows for collaboration. That's the collaborative part of the Google collaboration notebook. Now, for the notebook part of things now, so Google Colab is an environment where you can write notes and also write codes. You understand? So it's in cells, just like Jupyter Notebook and the other ones, right? It's in cells. So you see this particular one, this first one that you're seeing that I highlighted, this first box that you can see, right? It's a cell. It's a cell. It's a cell. Right, it's a cell. So what kind of cell is this? It's a code cell. It's a code cell. So I'm going to remove that so that I don't confuse you with what I want to say next. So it's a code cell. So as you can see, it's saying start coding or generate with AI. Start coding or generate with AI. Right. So this is saying I can write my code. So that's a simple code. Let's just write. I know this might not look like a code to you, but it's a code. So x equals to 6. It's a code. It's a code. It's a simple code, right? Okay, so let's so I think someone might ask a question very soon, but let me wait for you to ask the question before I explain that part. Okay, so this is a code, right? X equals to 6 is just a code there. I can write other things like x equals to 7, or another thing, y is equals to 7. Y is equals to 7. And how do we move from this one to the next thing? So I'm trying to see which one I should tell you to get used to better. Okay, so let's use this one, which is the so I don't want anybody to. Yeah, I'll come back to that, Mr. Okay, so come back to that. So I like your questions. So after writing this is a code. X equals to 6, y is equals to 7. That's a code. A simple code. We write more advanced codes like this later. Right. So to execute it, right, we click on this. So I think I want to take it from a simple this thing. First of all, right? So you click on this thing here, run. So it's good for the first time. It's going to take some time to execute the code. You can see it's running, it's rolling, it's rolling. That's because it's connecting to the internet. So, but once it's successful, you'll be seeing a green tick, a green check mark by the left of the code. I hope that's clear. You understand? So, next thing I want to do is to create a code cell, is to add another code. Because it's not the end. I'm written X supposed to say, is that all I can write on this page? So even if you double click down here, there's nothing that you can write down here. You understand? So you have to create a new cell. So how do you create a new cell? Just click on code here. Just click on plus code. So when you click on plus code, it's going to create a new cell. Obviously, what is going on there. So I think this is the best approach, so it doesn't confuse anybody. So plus code there is going to create a new code cell where I can start writing another code. Right. So what I want to write now is X plus Y. You understand? X plus Y. So this X plus Y that I've written, I want to now execute it. So everybody knows that X plus Y is what? 13. So 6 plus 7 is 13. You understand? So I'll still explain all of those things as we let me start very soon. So I'm just trying to show you the environment right now. So I can execute it. So I just executed it. Where did I execute it? I just clicked on this thing here. Play, run, the same thing. Either way you want to look at it. So the result is 13. So we just wrote a very simple code. 6 plus 7 is 13. It's giving us 13. You understand? So what's the point I'm trying to pass across here? I'm trying to pass across the point here that we have code cells in Python. So what's a code cell? A code cell is where you write codes. Right, a code cell is where you write codes. It puts a space between two characters. Yes, but it's not compulsory. It's not compulsory. It's not going to affect anything. So in case you are saying X plus Y like this, so it doesn't affect anything. So I just put space there just for legibility sake. So it's looking more. It's not looking plotted or clustered here. So the point is just to show you that we have code cell. So this is a code cell, right? Especially when you see start coding, it tells you it's a code cell. So that's that. So this particular cell down here, I don't need it. So when you so my screen is quite long, so I have to like zoom. So but when you move to the right side of your screen, so you might not have to zoom in and all of those things, but when you move to the right side of your screen, you should see this delete cell here. Right. So I'm just deleting my own the cell that I had under there, but you might not have to do that. So I don't delete it, I'm not showing you. Okay, so we have the code cell. We're just written two code cells. This is the first code cell, and this is the second code cell. Right, second code cell. Now I said it's case sensitive. Yes, we get it. So I said it's a notebook, right? It's a notebook. So it means that we can write notes here. We can write notes. So how do you write notes? It's just this text cell. So to write codes, code cell. To write text or notes, text cell. So I'll click on text. So when I click on text here, it's opened up it just opened this up. So it's telling me that I should start writing. That's what it means there. So I'm just going to start writing and just write, this is a text cell. I am trying to show that it's a text cell. Okay, so I just wrote a note there. So I just executed it. How did I execute it? In case you are wondering how I executed it, is Shift Enter. I click Shift Enter on my laptop. Shift Enter. So I don't think there's any other way to do that. So you just have to go to shortcut. So it's Shift Enter. Shift Enter. All right. So what I just did is I was able to write a code cell, a text cell. So as you can see, this is not a code. So you see this text here. I'll still take it from the beginning again, actually. So everybody's on track. So that code cell, that text cell is just a text. So that particular thing, this is a text cell, it's not a code. But imagine I wrote it in a code cell now. It becomes an error. As you can see, everything is now underlined, red. So if I execute it now, it's going to be giving me errors, right? Because it's incorrect, right? In a code cell, Colab is expecting codes. In a text cell, it's expecting text, notes, whatever thing that I want to write there. So it's showing error. Which one is showing error? So basically, the text cell can be used to describe what the codes you wrote is exactly. So I will show you a code. So the notebook we are using today, I will show you that now. So this is what we're going to be doing, right? So you might not be able to go deep into it today. So but I've created a notebook for you already. These are the things I'll be doing for the next maybe two weeks, 1 or 2 weeks, depending on how fast the class is able to grasp what we are doing. So let's take it again. Let's take it again. This time faster. So in case you didn't get it, I'm just going to take it again. Okay. So when you open your notebook, it's fresh like this. Nothing is there. Nothing on the palette there. Nothing is there on the canvas. Nothing is there. Right. So you want to start coding and you want to start writing something in your notebook. Okay. Let's start with the text cell. So that I said is like a notebook. Right. You're writing codes and you're writing notes at the same time. So text cell. I'm writing a text cell first of all. Now I want to say, okay, this is my first class. This is my first class. I will be learning the Python programming language. Watch out, watch out for the codes in loop. Okay, so this is the text cell, right? So to execute it, just to shift enter, shift enter, shift enter, shift enter. So shift enter would make it that way, like make it that way. Make it that way. So did everybody understand what I just did now? So I also had something a little bit listen to it. So but let me know if you understand what I just did here. Let me get from one or two people. Let's hear from you so I can chip in something immediately here. So it looks better, looks better. I want to have one particular thing. So when you understand this particular one I highlighted or I just did was text cell. So let me get one or two people's comments. Okay, I'm still waiting. You didn't get what I did. You didn't get what I did just now. Is there a problem with it? Let me get something in the chat. Okay, so I didn't know that the chat was even open. So the shift enter the shortcut for run. Yes. It's the shortcut. I like to take it. I like to say it's the shortcut. Actually, it's the shortcut. So I'm going to chip in something here. So I want to make it a bit look better. So I want to use this hash symbol. So I know everybody has done web development here, right? Well, these hash things are what we call the headings, or headers. You know which one we use now. I think it's headings. So I want to write something like Python class. Right, so you can see it's in blue. It's in blue there. So I just wrote hash Python class. So what that hash Python class means is, no, I'm not using it for comments here. It's not for comments here. I'll get to the comment parts later. So hash Python class there, what it's doing is that it's creating a font, a bigger font. So when I execute it, you can see Python class has a bigger font to it, while the other things are now just normal text. So I intentionally had to put that because I feel like it was just looking bland. So Python class is like the big text there, while the other things are just normal text. So the point is, when you're trying to like make a heading, right? The heading, you use hash. So I'm going to add another hash thing here. So I can use a double hash here and write the same Python class. I think I can just copy that. And so I'm just trying to show you the hash thing here. So the hash. So what the hash just does is so you can see all the Python class are of different font size. 5 of them are of different font size. So what the hash just does is it makes the font size bigger and makes it smaller. So one hash is just the biggest one, while when you add more hash to it, it makes it smaller. But as you can see, the last Python class is way smaller. So the more the hash, the smaller the font. The less the hash, the bigger the font. So I'll just leave one of the hash of the first hash there, which is the one that we need. So the point is, yes, increase the font size. So the point is, I just want to know it that also we move into some of that. So again, things I'm doing today is just to make you understand the environment. You also get it to, but just go straight to the notebook that I have today. Like this is what we have today. Like I said, some of those things will be looking so strange to you that how did you do this? How did you get it? So we need to be on the same page. So what we just talked about, right, is the text cell, right? Text cell. So immediately you run the text cell. When you do shift enter, immediately you run the text cell. It automatically take you to a code cell. When you don't put hash, so when you don't put hash, it's going to, I think it's going to take it as a normal thing, something like that. Let me confirm. It doesn't have any effect. So I think I'm just used to it by putting space. I think there's a purpose for using space. So maybe when it comes to web development, like I said the other time, there's the reason why we put space. So it doesn't mix with the word itself. So I was trying to say that when you run the text cell, it's going to automatically create a code cell. Maybe you do shift enter. So I'm giving you the shortcut already, shift enter. So I know some people will not bother to use this run button anymore. I don't use the run button, right? I just use shift enter. That's because I'm used to shift enter already. So clicking on this, it feels like so stressful. So because I just shift enter is like straightforward. Maybe because which one is faster? I like shift enter when you click on the run button. I feel like shift enter is faster, especially when you're typing, it's really faster. Okay, so that's the point. So now just was creating the text cell. Now I want to move into the code cell. So for the code cell, like I wrote the other time, I want to write something like okay, so let's take it. Okay, so let's take it. So we'll move into the class very soon, actually. So I'll do more detailed explanation when I get there. So let's just show you some things here. So this is like one of those things that so I don't want you to miss out of it. So it's like one of those things that everybody writes when they are creating their first code in any programming language. So hello world. So if you know any programming language apart from this, you must have done the hello world thing here. So print hello world. So what does it do? It's a code. I'll explain the code. Let me get into the other class. But it's a code. What does it do? Print is just printing a statement. So you just print hello world and it gives you the results. Yeah, it just gives you the results. So that's a code. So the next thing here is another code. That's right, another code. So I can write something like name is equals to, you can put your name there instead of my name. Right, put your name there, then print, welcome to, let us go welcome to Adita. So welcome to Adita, and let's put space. Let's write this. Let's write this. We'll get into the explanation of this particular codes. But we need to like know some foundational things before we get here. So I'm just trying to show you how codes work there. Yeah, so that's just the point for now. Nice. So for the introduction part of everything, yes, I feel like we are done. Right, we are done. So what I've just been able to do, just show you the environment, the interface, sharing. As you can see, when you that my link, when you refresh that my link, you should be able to see my own everything I'm written right now. It should be reflecting on your own notebook, in your own screen. Not your own notebook, the one I shared that you opened. I shared the link earlier of my own. So if you open this, you should be seeing my own right now. So this is what it is right now. So I think we can go into what we have. So I'm able to show you everything so far. So I don't think anything is left out for now. So we can move on. So is there any question before we move into what we have as the topic? So any question? I should move on. Let's get responses. 1 or 2 people. So should I move on? Or it's clear or it's not clear? Or let me get from you. So you can move on. Okay. One person said move on. So I just want to get from 1 or 2 people usually. So syntax error. What's the error about? So if it's about the codes, yeah. So if it's about the codes, if it's about the way the code is, or so if it's about this code that you're having syntax error, please check it again. It's how you wrote it. There's no error about it. It's how you wrote it on your own end. So if you're having errors, it's just how you wrote it. You don't understand. Okay, so you say you understand, but I want to know which part you don't understand. I want to believe what you mean by that is the codes. Right? So if the codes is what you don't understand, don't worry about that. I've not explained the codes. You understand? I've not explained the codes. We are not there yet. We're not there yet. So still take us a while before we get there. So we need to talk about this. These are things that we need to talk about. So even that part of the code, I think it's still down here or something. It's still down here. Still down here. I need to talk about all of this up here. So I need to talk about it now. So the only thing that did not show. Actually, the previous don't understand that we didn't put up in class. Yeah. No, it's still I didn't really get the statement. It's not clear yet. I didn't really get the message. So the name included that did not show. I'm not sure what you meant by that. I'm not sure what you meant by that. But let's just go into what we have. So everything this thing concern should be like settled. That's why I want to take it from the ground up for the class. So this is like our very first class on Python. Right. So just like I said, when you're learning language, you need to know some basic things. You understand? You need to know some basic things. So obviously, this is my notebook. You understand? So I've written some notes and I'll be showing you the codes. So the notes help you to understand what we're talking about. So I'll be writing codes down here so you understand the codes too. So as you can see, the first thing I want to talk about is creating variables in Python. That's the very first thing I want to talk about. Creating variables. Now, variables are so variables are just what do you call it? A placeholder for a value. You understand? Placeholder for a value. So I used an example the other time, and everyone's used to it already. So everyone is just used to it. It might just look strange. So maths, you're trying to solve a problem. You know, at the end of the day, x is equals to 5 or something. You're trying to find x. So x is just like a variable name. Right? X, Y, name, all of those things, they're just variable names. So when you're creating a variable, it just simply means that we're assigning a value to it. Right? Assigning a value to it. So I'm just going to put an example here. So when I say I'm creating a variable, X, right? So X cannot just stand alone. X needs to be equal to something. So maybe X is equal to 7. So you understand. So 7 is the value, X is the variable. So let's so X is the value, X is the variable, 7 is the value. Right? Value is the thing itself. Variable is what is representing that thing. You understand? So 7 is being represented by X. I think that should be clear. So that's what we're trying to do here, creating variables. And there are rules to know when you're creating a variable. There are rules to know. So the first rule I have here is the variable name must start with a letter or an underscore. Must start with a letter or an underscore. So I put some correct ones and another one that is an error. So you can write the variable name by saying name is equal to John. Name is equal to Jacob. Both are correct. So what's the difference? One is starting with a small letter, one is starting with a capital letter. Right, and this one is also correct. It's starting with underscore, so it's correct. But most people do not want to write it that way, but it's also correct. Now, the one that is not correct is starting with a number. So you cannot write a variable name by starting with a number. Right, you cannot write a variable name by starting with a number. That's the point of this first rule So these are the first things I usually talk about when we talk about Python as a topic. So the first variable name, create good variable names. So look at this. I can say students. Students is equal to, let's look for someone's name I can pick. Awa. So let's pick over C. So that's a name, right? That's a name. So I can run this code. That's the name of someone in the class. There's really not going to be, there's no error about this code. Yes, and it's running. So there's no error about this code. I want it to run. Yeah, so as you can see, there's no error about it. Right. So there's just different ways of writing a variable name. So you can see you want to start with a capital letter like this. Right. So a capital letter like that. Let me just copy this one. So as you can see, for the two things I've written here, right? This one on the right hand side is just the value. Why the variable is what is on the left hand side. So you can decide to use a small letter to start, use a capital letter to start, use all capital letters to start. It's just a matter of choice. But I would advise you use all capital letters, right? So this is what I'm trying to say. That's just what this first rule is talking about. Can start with a small. We can start with any letter, whether capital letter or small letter. I can also start with an underscore, right? So I would advise you to start with start your variable names with small letter or capital letter. You understand? So that's one rule. So the combination of all of these things, we'll look at it towards the end. So the next rule here is variable names can only contain letters, numbers, and underscore. So these two are allowed. My var is equal to 100. It is allowed. I can combine two things with underscore. Age 25, I can combine them with underscore. But I can't combine things with hyphen. I can't use any other character or symbol or anything there. So for example, I'm trying to say number, let's use number of students is equal to, how many are here right now? 27. So number of students is equal to 27. So this is allowed. There's no error. So I'm going to run the code. There's no error about this code. You understand? There's no error. This is how we write it in Python. So I'm just trying to show you how we write so you don't get into errors. Now, some persons might say, okay, why not write it like this? Number of students is equal to 27. Why make life hard? Why can't you just use space? Space is not allowed. This is error. As you can see, it's already underlined. It's already underlined in red. Why? Because you cannot use space to separate things in your variable name. You can't use space for the variable name. Because look at the value here. I put our over C, right? I was able to put space. No issue about it. That's because it's a value. That's the person's name. You understand? But when you're creating a variable name, right, it must not have a space. It's not allowed. So another thing that one might say is something like number and of, I think someone might also write it this way. Just number of and it's not correct too. Now the point I'm trying to make here is the only character that is allowed, right? You also cannot use hyphen. The only character that is allowed is underscore in Python. So you cannot use exclamation mark, or maybe you put at number of students here. Something to is a big issue. A big issue. Or actually, when you even put it at the end or something like this, it's a very big issue. No other character is allowed except from underscore. Right. So we use the underscore to, all those two things are not correct. So we use the underscore to make it to combine variable names, to combine texts or characters, right? In your variable name. That's what's the point I'm trying to make there. So number of students is equal to 27. So those are ways to write variable names. I'll show you some at the end of the this thing. I'll show you how best to write them. So variable names are case sensitive. That's another point. So this is the third rule. Variable names are case sensitive. So name, they're all different. Python is case sensitive. So small letter name, all lowercase, is different from one that starts with a capital letter, and different from the one that is all caps. Right. So something like name equals to let's just put Jacob. So name equals to Jacob, name equals to Jacob. They're all different. So I think, okay, so this is better to explain this way. So as you can see, we have name is equals to Jacob. So I can say print name. So I'll still get to the print part of things later in the class. So print name, it will give me Jacob, right? Because I created a variable name called name, and I'm saying print the name. They are both correct. But now imagine I'm now putting capital letter name. But what I created was small letter name. But now I'm saying print capital letters name. When I execute this, it will be error. It's not allowed. Python is case sensitive. It's case sensitive. So even if it also applies for the values, right? If I wrote Jacob here, it's way different from if I wrote than when I write small letters. So Python is case sensitive. If you're writing capital letter, stick with your capital letter. If it's small letter, stick with your small letter. You understand? So you don't want to mix it together. So, but the usual thing, the popular consensus is that you should just use the small letter. So you just use the small letter. And I think on that line of things too, I just don't like how capital letters look like. They look so big. I don't know why. So it's just so my programming, we prefer to write the small letters, not capital letters. So the point I just made there is variable names are case sensitive. I think someone asked that question recently in the chat. It's just case sensitive. So again, just a little thing, just to wrap it up. So A is different from A. There are two different things. Capital letter A, different from small letter A. That's just it. That's just the case sensitivity there. So the fourth thing here, is do not use Python keywords as variable names. So that's on that part. So I think for now, many people might fall victim to that part of things, right? Where you're using a variable name, where you're using a Python keyword for a variable name. So let me just show you all the variable names that we have, all the Python keywords that we have. So this is equal to show them. So things like false, none, true, all of these words that you can see here. We'll talk about many of them as we continue in the class. Actually, many of them. So these words, I'm trying to say these words, we don't use them as variable names. We don't use them as variable names. So let me look for something that you might want to use as a variable name. Let's look for something like yield. So we're saying you can't use that as a variable name. So the reason why we have those keywords is that why you should be careful about the keywords rather is that so imagine you had a robot, or you had a voice assistant. I mean, just like Siri, for example, on iPhone. And then you know when you don't want to talk to Siri, just say all of those things, right? But if Siri was listening to everything you say and you said switch off, right? So if Siri hears the switch off, what does it tell itself? It means, okay, maybe I should shut down the phone, and it then shuts down. But you might not have meant switch off, right? You might be talking to someone and just said switch off, or you might be saying don't switch off the lights or something. So it's a keyword. It's something that you need to be careful about. That's why we have them in Python. So Python keywords are terms or are reserved words that we don't use anyhow. That's true. There are about 29 of them. So if you count this, I think it's like 23 to 29. So these are just, if you want to find them, if you want to know about them, right? Just like Python keywords on Google when you see them, but you can also execute this to see all of them. So the point is, you don't use them as variable names. So, for example, I can't say yield is equal to Jacob. No, it's going to be a very big error. So as you can see, this yield is already in purple. So every time, when I wrote name is equal to Jacob before, just a good variable name, no issue about it. But now I'm putting yield, an issue. So I put await, an issue. So I see await is one of them. I can't use await as a variable name. So continue. It's a variable name. You can use it, but I can use your name. No issue. In case you're wondering, okay, should we use the underscore? You might want to write it like this to your name. But when you write your name like this, it looks not so doesn't look so well. That's why you just use underscore to separate them. So I'll talk about that very soon. So the point is, keywords, stay away from keywords when you're creating the variable name. So do not use keywords as variable names. So the fifth thing here is use descriptive names for readability. Right? Use descriptive names for readability. I'll take the 5 and 6 together. So use snake case for variable names. Use snake case. So what does snake case means? It means you're combining them with underscore, right? So this one is also correct, right? But that's what we call the camel case. I'll explain both of them now. So for the 5 and 6, right, use good variable names when you're creating a variable name. That's another rule. And the 6th rule there is just use snake case. Okay, so I'm going to do something here, and I want to hear from you. So let's assume that you are trying to create a variable name for apples. So what variable name would you use for an apple? Let me hear from you in the chat. Let me hear from you in the chat. Just tell me one. I use one. Let's just get one. So what variable name would you use? You're trying to describe apples, number of apples. So I'm already giving you this thing. But since nobody has mentioned it yet, let's just start. So it was create a variable name for apples. So I have like 100 apples. But let's just use a smaller number. 8 apples. Right. So I could use A is equal to 8. No, it's a variable name. It's correct. A is equal to 8 is correct. There's no issue about it. There's no issue about it. But A doesn't pass complete sense. So that's why we said use variable names that are more descriptive. So even though I know that the number of apples are 8, right? But it's not enough, it's not passing enough information. Instead, I can write something like apple equals to 8. This makes more sense. Right. Now I can say that when someone sees my code now, that person can know that okay, this person is talking about apples, not just apple. So I think grammatically, apples should just be the apples. So let's leave that as apples instead of apple. So right now, the second one is better than the first one. Right. And as you can see, the value is the number of apples. So you might want to now say, okay, what if we don't want the first two? What if we want number of apples equals to 8? Okay, someone might prefer this third one because it's more explanatory. It's saying, okay, it's not just apples equals to 8. It's now saying the number of apples is 8. So someone might prefer this one. So another person might prefer this number of apples. So I'm just trying to show you different ways in which you can write the variable name. And by choice, anyone that's preferred it can just use the A equals to 8. So just choice, if you understand. It's just about, but when you're trying to pass more information, where you write it such that everyone understands. Because your code is not just for you, so other people to also look at it too. So number of apples. So we could also write it in capital letters, right? Number of apples. I hate the look of capital letters. I just don't like the way capital letters look. And I don't know if it's the same thing on your end. So when capital letters are like so close together, it's even for small letters actually too. It's not really easy to understand usually. So this is what I'm trying to say. Number of apples equals to 8. So these are still ways in which you can write. All of these are ways in which you can write. So again, I could use a camel case. So this third one, this seventh one is a camel case. So what do you mean by camel case? Okay, for the snake case just means using underscore to combine them. So I think I should have mentioned that snake case is just using the underscore. That's snake case. So for the camel case, camels have hunchbacks, right? So it's more like there's a high, there's a low to their this thing there. So if you look at the first thing here, number is in lowercase. After number, the next word is of. So of has capital letter O. And when you look at apples, it has capital letter E. Now, when we move to the next word, there's usually when you move to the next word, the first letter of the next word is always capital letter. That's in the camel case. So it's not really this thing, but we use most of the snake case in Python. So all of these are ways in which you can write outputs, right? So I'm going to add another thing, which is something like number of apples in the basket. Here, this is a very good one. So that's another one. It's a very long one, but I'll advise against it because it's too long. Before you write it out, you have spent how many seconds to write all of these things out. We could have number of apples 2025 equals to 8. Okay, so this is another one. Now, this last one in number 9 there, I'm using a number with it. Right, I'm using a number with the word there. Words. So number of apples 2025. That's saying number of apples in 2025. I feel like it makes more sense in that it's not just saying number of apples. So you might work in a company and you have apples in 2025, apples in 2024. So adding that just gives an extra information. And again, for the numbers, I don't know if you talked about it earlier. You cannot start writing a variable name with the number. 2,000 apples equals to 8. But you cannot start writing it with a number. It's not allowed. You can't start writing with a number. So instead of doing that, you instead would start with a word. So the 2,000 apples is equals to 8, so something like that. So I'm just trying to make a point that you don't start a variable name with a number. You only start a variable name with a word. Okay, so these are different ways in which you can write a variable name. Right. So as time goes on, you see us writing different variable names. We're trying to write names of students, name of this, name of that. We also be using n is equals to students' names and all this. I'll use a better variable name so it's easier to understand. So for all of the ones I've written so far, I see I've written about 9 different ways in which you can write a variable name. So but for all of these, let me get to the chart. Which one would you prefer? Which number? Which is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Which one would you prefer? Which way would you write a variable name if you were to write your own variable name? So let me get this in the chat. And yes, let me get that in the chat first. Let me get that in the chat. While I'm getting that, I know someone might be asking that why are we having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but I'm not having it on my own. That's because it's the settings I've done on my own Google Colab. So the settings on my own Google Colab, it allows me to have set it such that I can put line numbers to my codes. So I put it there because when I'm explaining, it's easy for people to understand that I'm on line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4. You understand? So let me get to hear from you in the chat. So I think some people have said something already. Oh, I actually think that some people have sent messages since in the chat. I'm just seeing them. So I think that's on the other side. So fruit is equals to apple. Number of fruits. I wish I understood what you mean by number of fruits. So, okay. I think you were saying most likely what you call the variable number of fruits, number of apples, number of apples. Sorry to ask, I didn't want numbering it. Okay, someone even asked the question already, but I wasn't the one numbering it. That's why I was explaining that. It's the settings that put on the Google Colab that is numbering it for me. So someone said number 3, number 4, 3, 4. Okay, I played the snake case, which is around 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. So it's again difference between 6 and 7 maybe. Okay, so 8. 8. Right, 8 is the longest. 8 is the longest. So I think there's another. Do we have? Look at it. So I close, I can tell you if there's it. Okay, so I think most people chose 3, 4, and we have an 8. I think the 3s have it. No, the 4s have it, I think. Okay, so let me start with the 8s first of all. So the 8 is correct. All of them are correct, like I said, all of them are correct. But the 8 in particular is long. The 8 in particular is long. So let's assume that I want to use this 8 later now. I want to say print number of apples in. I have to start typing it one by one in the baskets to print it out. So I'm even having errors. So I think I didn't execute it. So it's giving me 8 now. So it's kind of long to type. Yeah, so that's just the point of this number 8. It's long. It's too long. So we just want to make it shorter. You understand? But still have good information. So too short is too bad. So A is equals to 8. It's not passing much information. What is A? But when you use apples equals to 8, okay, still more information. But the 3 and 4 are the best, if you ask me. Right. So now between the 3 and 4, which one is better? I will now say the 4. Why? Because the 4 is shorter than the 3. The 4 is shorter than the 3. Yes, thank you. The 4 is shorter than the 3. Right. So in terms of it should be short, yes, be able to like have meaning. You understand? So number of apples, which is number 4, is kind of the best to use at this point. And we can't shorten number. We can't shorten apples. Like is there a shortcut for apples again? So there's no short form for apples. So someone was saying what's between 6 and 7. So the difference between 6 and 7 is that the 6 is all small letters, while the 7 is the next word, number of apples, of and apples, they're having capital letters. That's it. This upper. This upper. So this upper here is small letters, right? So this one is capital letter O and capital letter A. So the beginning of a word, of a new word, is just capital letter. That's the meaning of snake face. That's the meaning of camel face, rather. Yes, number 7 is camel face. Yes. So that's it for variable names. So variable names is what we've done today, and all of that is that we've done so far. So I'll share the notebook with you. So again, everyone is just a viewer. Everyone is just a viewer. So yes, so I've shared the but for the recording, I know some people were asking me about the recording. So I'm trying to see the admin is here. I asked the admin about the recording, especially for last week Saturday. I don't know if some of you got the recording for the last week Saturday's class. Please let me know. Did anybody get the recording for last week Saturday? No. It was shared. Yes. Okay. So I think there's a distance to it then. So when so you see, so some people got the recording, some people didn't get it. You see, so yes, it's very important. So the recording of this class will basically be ready maybe less than an hour after the class, or less than 30 minutes, I believe. Or this night, basically. So but when I asked, I said I was told that there's a form on the group that you need to fill. So there's a form on the WhatsApp group that you need to fill. Maybe you didn't fill it correctly. Okay, mail was sent to everyone who filled the form, exactly. So if you didn't fill the form, you won't get the mail. Yeah, sorry, you won't get the mail to get access to the recording. You understand? So if you I think it's just that the form needs to be filled. Then you not get a mail. I think that's how it works. So if you don't get an email, or rather if you fill the form and you didn't get an email, you can reach out to the admin. You can send a message on the group or yes to the admin that you don't have access to it. So I think that's just it. So you should have access to the recording actually. So the recording for today should be available, especially if you were able to see the recording for the first class. So immediately this is done, you'll be able to also get the recording. Understand? So I've shared the notebook if you want to go over it for today's class. That's just the first. So we've just done the first section, which is creating variable names in Python. That's the first thing that we have done, creating variable names in Python. So the next thing that we'll be talking about is printing in Python. So I've been able to talk about print. You heard me say print. So we'll talk about print in the next class. We'll talk about Python data types. We'll talk about arithmetic operators. We'll talk about I think we should talk about comparison operators too. So I think we should be able to membership operators. We should be able to get to number 6 on Saturday. Number 6 is not the end. We have number 7, but I don't think we're going to get to number 7 on Saturday. So we're going to get to number 6 on Saturday. So but today we are still on number 1. So we'll get to number 6 on Saturday. So okay, is there a question? I filled the form and I did not get access to the recording. So Mr. Stephen, did you fill the form and got an email? So if you didn't get an email, that means you didn't fill the form correctly. So I think that's an issue. In the WhatsApp group. Okay, I'll share the form again. I'll add the form again on the WhatsApp group so you have access to it. So I want to believe that it's the form recording. Is the form is where you fill the form, or I don't know. I don't really check the form to know what is there and what is being asked of you. You understand? So I just know that the admin said some people didn't fill the form well. That's why they didn't have access to the recordings, something like that. So a question: can the variables and the number be reversed? In which case, 8 is equal to the number of variable names. Number of apples. That's not possible. It's not allowed. Mr. Peter, it's not allowed. So you cannot say you can't say 9 is equals to Jacob or something like this now, or name like this. Yeah, so you can't do this. It's not allowed. It's not allowed. So a variable name, first of all, cannot even be a number. A variable name cannot be a number. So I think you're asking, can it be reversed? So it can't be reversed. And the second point is, you might be saying, okay, since name is equals to 9, then 9 is equals to name. I know it doesn't work like that. Is what is on the right hand side is going to be equal to what is on the left hand side. So what's on the right hand side is always, so let's write it this way. Variable is always going to be equal to the value. That's all. variable is always going to be equal to the value. So this is not allowed because 9 is not, 9 is the value, name is the variable. So it should be interchanged by this. Name is equal to 9 and variable is equal to value. So we'll talk about comments to this hash thing that you're saying. So we'll talk about it in the next class. So that's where we'll stop today. That's where we'll stop today. So you have a notebook, you can go over it. And the other one I shared, the other notebook, this one, you can also go over it, but I don't think there's much to also to go over in this one. So so even though I have my own notebook, obviously I have my own notebook that I'll be working on. You might want to create a fresh one where you be like practicing. You understand? Fresh one to practice. And if you want my own notebook, you want to be working with my own notebook, but you won't be able to edit mine. You just want to be working with my notebook, right? You can make a copy of it. So I don't know, maybe some of you might have tried to edit my own already and ask me to save a copy. So that's the best you can do, right? You can't edit my own. All you can do is to make a copy of it, then start editing. So how do you make a copy of it? So you come to file here. So you should see save a copy. You should save a copy, right? You should save a copy. Or when you open my own notebook, I think you should also see, it should ask you something. It should ask you for something. So I wish somebody can send the notebook to me. So I show you what it will be asking for. So I can't show you right now. But if you want to make a copy of my own, this is my own notebook. You understand? You want to have it. Obviously, the link is always going to be there for you to always come back to. But you might just want to have my own notebook to edit, to like just make a copy of it and be editing. That's what I mean. So the best is to save a copy of it and start editing if you want to. Or just come to my own notebook when you need to use it. So if there are no questions, I think I can call it a night, but I'll wait if there's a question. Is there a question? Okay. I filled the form. Okay, same thing. I filled out the form and also got the email. I haven't chatted you, but nothing changed. Chatted with me. It's just one person that chatted with me. Just one person that chatted with me. And it's not Michael, it's Damalie. So I think yes, Damalie. And so I told that it's the way they have to fill the form or something. So that's what I was told. So but you filled the form and got the email. Chatted with me, but nothing happened. Nothing changed. So I'm not the one. It's probably one of the admins that chatted with. So maybe you want to confirm that like, I'm the one, but I'm not the one. And so it's most likely the form thing. You got the email. So I think it's not really clear to me yet. So what's the guarantee that you get this recording? So okay, I filled the form. You see that email, but didn't see the recording. I also filled the form, but didn't see the recording for Saturday this class. Okay, so so now I'm asking myself, for people that got the recording, what did they do differently? So I'm asking myself, though, it's a rhetorical question. So the last recording was on WhatsApp group. So, okay, so I want to believe that this is how it works. So when you fill the form, right, you get an email, and automatically when you get the email, your email is going to be part of the people that are able to view the folder. So there's a Google Drive. So all the recordings and all of those things that they're on the Google Drive. So what you need to do is to what the admin needs to do is to make you the viewer to see the Google Drive and all. But I checked my Google Drive folder, but it's not there. Okay, so I have to. So since it's some part of the class is not having access, some are having access. I just have to pass it down to the admin again because I was just told that it's the way the form. There was a mail that was sent to us. We need to respond with our names, WhatsApp group, and email, every Gmail. So please look at the message that's shared. Okay. So please look at the message that Mr. Peter and Mr. Friday just sent. So everything that I'm saying is summarized in those two things. So Peter said there was a mail that was sent to us to respond with our names, WhatsApp number, and email address. So I feel like it's that email address that was used to give you access to the link to the drive. So if you fill that form correctly and there's an issue, you can reach out to me directly. Like if you fill the form correctly and you got an email, but you don't have access to the drive, you can reach out to me and take it to the next this thing. So and the other person says when you receive an email, the drive link will be shared. When you click on the link, you request for access, after which you access the drive. So I think it's a clear thing, but I don't know why it's not really clear on some people's end yet. But let's see, if there's still an issue, maybe you reach out to me directly because time is fast spent already for the class. So maybe reach out to me directly so I can know what to do about it. So I can know what to